So it's like take 25, right?
125.
125.
Maybe 202.
But before we start, I actually have something for you. I have
do?
something quite exciting for you.
Oh my goodness. It's finally here.
Finally out. It's finally out.
here. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. This has been a journey for us. This has been, yeah, how has it been for you? Maybe let's start.
It's been a great journey. I think for me, it's, first of all, it helped me meet these guys and help me see that they're similar but quite different from the characters, and also help meet you and the team, and just
of course we're awesome.
Yes. Oh, you guys are awesome. We had creative differences.
Yes.
I'll tell you something, guys. When something this beautiful comes out, there's creative differences. What I like about that is you have creative differences, right? And it's almost like a twirl that's creating a beautiful
It makes something
setting.
better, you
That's
know?
the thing.
Yes, we like challenge each other.
Yes.
And I think we
For
had to.
you, why GQ? Why this partnership?
I think, you know, when we started this journey of repositioning our brand as Castle Milk Stout, we obviously wanted people that would represent our brand in a light that, you know, it actually is. And you know, what better way than Africa's or South Africa's husbands, national husbands, the acclaimed Zulu Brothers. And you know, when we thought about, you know, the style of the brand, the style of the brothers and GQ, it was just a marriage, you know, that made sense. And yeah, sitting down with you, talking, learning more about what you do, learning more about GQ. I think, you know, as we sat there, right, it started making more sense. And I think that's when we started conceptualizing something beautiful. And I'm so excited to actually see it right here in front of us.
And Savor Black. Let's talk about Savor Black. Everyone here is wearing black on the cover, but outside of that, this is a collaboration that CMS, Castle Milk Stout, did with Bhutan. Just take us through that.
So we were really excited, and we wanted to bring the story of Inkunzi Nyama to life, and we thought, you know, why not do that through the brothers? Yes. We created this beautiful fashion line in mind with people like them, in mind with people like you.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know,
my favorite is the jacket that I'll get next week. Apparently, I'm just waiting.
You know, and we really wanted to tell the story of our brand. So within these garments, you will actually see it's not you know, over the top, but there's a deep story around it, particularly about how old this brand is and where we've come, you know, and where we are now and where we're going in the future. So it's a really exciting story, very much about savoring black, you know, appreciating black, appreciating the boldness, the smoothness, you know, which is exactly what our liquid is about. Yeah, so we've done that and told the story.
So speaking about the story of the brand, this is the first packaging, I guess, for Castle Milk Stout.
Yep.
It was quite interesting when I looked at it. It looks really beautiful. I wish I could take this and just put it in my house just as a decoration.
Molife, no.
Oh, why not?
No, I think we've evolved since then. I mean, you can see this says 1957.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yes, it's very old. So we wouldn't. You're gonna take this one and put it there because, you know, I think it would match the aesthetics of your place. I think
it would actually. And what I love is got the print as well.
Yes, which really represents
art going on.
100%. It really represents our brand. But I think, you know, having a look at this, I was taken aback, you know, when I walked in here and saw this and actually saw where the brand has come from and what we've evolved it to now. Now we're a brand of, you know, full of purpose. We speak about culture a lot, and we really, you know, harness the strength of who we are. We're one of the most purposeful brands, storytellers in our nature. And I think, you know, I'm just really proud looking at the evolution and also honestly excited about the future.
And speaking of the evolution, the cover is the grand finale of the campaign. How has the evolution been for you? There's been black conversations. There's been many touch points for you as the brand manager when you started the journey here and we're now at the grand finale. How has that been for you?
I think starting the journey was quite daunting. I won't say the least, because it's something that's brave. I think when we read the research, right, you'll see a lot of brands actually shy away from even calling out black, right? So they'll use black in their logos. They'll, you know, it will be something that's there, but they shy away from black, right? I suppose because it's got those negative perceptions. There's racial scares that people think about, and we, you know, as a brand thought, you know, why run away from what we are, right? So our liquid is black. This is really who we are. So why not show up authentically, tell people the story of Nkunze Mnyama, bring them along on the journey, but also listen to them and then give them a voice, which is also how Black Conversations was brought up, you know, and that was an amazing journey. I think I learned so much. I got the privilege of sitting behind the scenes, and the conversations that were there, man, were rich and stuff I'm just holding close to my heart. Did you watch this?
I did. Some of the conversations that people were talking, just like, okay, it's cringe, but you get it. You wanted to say it, you haven't said it. So I think that's what I loved about that. And what I also loved about being on set, right, we spoke about Nkunze Mnyama, is how the brothers spoke about what it means to them. Particularly Mondli, when he spoke about, for me personally, I think that's the part that I really resonated with, that Nkunze Mnyama speaks about wealth. Being black speaks about being brave and being strong. And I really hung on to that, because I think for the longest time, and like black is not associated with greatness, but what you've done as a brand is to do that. For you, what were your favorite moments on set? Or what are some of those things that you still remember and go like, actually, this was dope?
I think my favorite moments on set was when we were like, you were different. No, maybe not this. Let's try this. I think that was fun, because I think it just showed our creative nature. It showed how passionate we are about what we're doing. It showed that we all wanted the best out of this project. And I think looking at it now, we're also excited about what has come out. And yeah, I think hearing the brothers talk about their stories, you know, when Kwenzo was actually talking and we asked him, you know, what does that mean, you know, to be bold and strong, and he attributed that to his mom. That I think was a touching moment, and you know, realizing that strength in Nkunze Mnyama doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a man, you have to be, you know, rough around the edges or whatever, but you know that it's about strength.
And in terms of, if looking back, so 3 words to describe the experience for you. And why I say for you is because when everything starts, there's a visionary, right? And you are the visionary. And I understand how sometimes it's not heavy, but it's like the responsibility of having a vision. I think that's quite heavy. And then translating it to everyone, for everyone to get it. For you, if you could say in 3 words, what that has meant and what that means and how you feel about it, because you should be proud.
Yeah, I think scary, one. I would say exciting. Then I'd say butterfly. You know that that feeling inside of you. Okay, you said 3, but I'm gonna say 4.
You can go on, yes.
I'm gonna say 4. And just a sense of pride. The one thing that you mentioned that I totally agree with, and I'm gonna ask you the same question, is, you know, that sense of responsibility that we have as young people to really represent the truth of what South Africa is, and you know, who we are and how we've grown, and the authenticity of our journeys. So what are your 3 words? And you know,
wow, for me, humbled. Here's why. To be able to be a conduit, having that responsibility to have a message go through you to people through the work you do. It's always extremely humbling, because you have to understand that this is a responsibility, so you need to put your heart in it, but it also needs to release, and people need to get 100%. It and be changed. Also butterflies, because you're like, because I don't think I'm a perfectionist, but I think I always want things to come out great. You know what I mean? To come out great. Perfectionist.
Perfectionist.
And the 3rd word would be super proud because we did it. Super proud because I know there's a guy, there's a girl, the guys who are looking at the magazines, who will see the footage, will see everything we've said and go like, ah, I get it. Or, oh, I didn't see it that way. So for me, that's really exciting.
I think I love what you're saying is, I mean, this is my passion point, right, as a person, and I think we all have a purpose, you know, within this world, and one of the greater responsibilities is to do things that make a difference, right? And I suppose to carry brands like GQ, to carry brands like Castle Milk Stout, you know, I love the fact that you're saying, you know, humbled, and honestly telling authentic stories, right? Because we actually didn't script anybody, we didn't force anybody to say anything. It was really them being themselves. And I think that was what made this entire project so great, right? It's not forced, it's not something, you know, when we approached them, it's not a script. When we approached them, they also believed this is actually who we are, and it really makes sense. So I think I love what you're saying about it being humbling. Would I go so far as to say it was life-changing?
Always. I mean, I think life-changing because, like I said, what Mondli said, that still rings there. You see, being in a space where you're saying the same thing, but you're not saying it the same way. I think all of us agreed and resonated, but we're saying it very differently. It's like when you hear a song that you all resonate with, but for you, it reminds you of a heartbreak. The other one reminds them of when they got married, nostalgia. So yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah, I think looking back on it, and I think having started this and having this grand finale, but where we've been as a brand and how we've, you know, kind of rolled this campaign out, Black conversations, you know, talking about the things that Black people normally shy away from, but also representing and decoding Black, which is actually the cover or the head title of the magazine. I think I definitely agree with you that you know, we've done something magical here. But I want to ask you, what does it mean to decode Black to you?
What it means to decode Black to me is to not simplify Black, but to, for lack of a better word, to have this, let's say it's a diamond, this beautiful diamond, how to explain to people why it's so dope. Pretty much that's what it is. How to decode it piece by piece by piece by piece to say, let's decode it for you. In case you don't get it, this is what it is.
I love that description, right? Because it's, you know, to get a perfect diamond, it needs to go through, you know, a particular process. And people normally say there's a diamond in the rough, right? And I think that's exactly where we are, right? We're in that space where, you know, we've brought out this beautiful diamond within a lot of roughness. And I think when you think about this and you dive deeper, and I mean, you've come along the journey with us. You've watched some of the Black conversations. I'm going to put you on the spot, test your knowledge. Which of the conversations has just stood out for you?
I think the conversations that stood out for me was the Tolasmo.
Yes, cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Because it was sad hearing that in a short space of time, one's life turned around.
Just like that.
It was beautiful to watch because that conversation was redeeming. For me, it was a redeeming thing because we had heard about it, then he was being redeemed and you could hear his side of the story. And when he spoke about suicide, I was just like, I mean, earlier this year as a brand, we had a whole webinar about men's mental health, and we spoke about all the problems that men are going through, and suicide is quite higher in men actually. I don't know if a lot of people know that. So for me, watching that just really changed the way I look at things, but also was quite, I love that you guys gave him a platform. I love that you guys gave him a platform. It wasn't a platform to fight against that, it was just a platform to say, here's my truth, here's why.
And it was his first appearance actually after everything transpired. But I think interesting enough, you know, Putontala, because he's called Putontala even within the squad. You know, it's interesting to know that he's got a story about mental health and you know, his struggles around mental health. And I think it's so refreshing to see men now talking about it, right? This is something that's always been very far taboo, and you know, something men felt like they needed to hide from, right? Which I think is also the importance of Nkunze Mnyama, right? It's got strength, but then it's vulnerable at the same time. There's something about it that's really smooth. There's something about it that you can really appreciate. It's about you know, overcoming the trials as well. You know, being sturdy and standing still to know that, okay, I've actually got strength and I can do this. I think that's been an amazing thing for me. But I think, you know, having done this with Castle Milk Stout and GQ, do you feel like these two brands were a perfect fit?
Well, yeah, I think the two brands were a perfect fit. Because I do drink Castle Milk Stout, and I'm not saying this here. I do drink Castle Milk Stout, especially when you're out at festivals and stuff like that. I really love that. But then I realized that you guys have cocktails. Now, mind you, I don't really like cocktails. So when I was on set, had some of the cocktails, I was really quite impressed. I was quite impressed, and I was just like, oh, okay, who thought about that? Who thought about having a beer and cocktail? And it looks really, really good. So for me, I think it was a brand match, and also the people we chose to be part of it were a brand match. And I can't wait to see the response from people. I know a lot of guys will relate to it. I know a lot of ladies are out here buying it because your faves are on the cover.
Husbands. No one can claim them. It's just
it's everybody's.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me that was great.
I think that's very nice to hear, and yeah, I think our cocktail experience is.
What's your favorite cocktail though?
It's called Dindi.
But can people?
Because you know, can you get?
Yes. No, I get it. But I think we need to put these recipes on the website or something, because I think people need to make cocktails at home, because this is December, it's coming, like we're at home, we're drinking, all we're doing is chilling, drinking. We
are here for you, Molife. They are on our website. We're giving a few cocktail sets away. We're showing people how to make these cocktails. We're showing people how to have fun with these cocktails, the different recipes that you can bring in. And I think, you know, as December starts, you're going to see us coming with the cocktail content, and I'm super excited to see people chilling with this magazine, holding a cocktail. And it's just like perfect marriage, right?
Yeah.
Like it's goosebumps.
Cool. Kenzie, this was dope. This was really, really good. This was so good. So good. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And that's how we do it.
Yeah.
Yes.